One of the biggest dilemmas that I think women face is trying to balance at work masculine and feminine styles. We have called this term code switching. Originally, it was referred to as androgyny. If you break down the word androgyny, andro in Greek means male, gyn, G-Y-N, as in the prefix to gynecology, means female. It's the combination of the masculine and the feminine styles. And I think this helps resolve that age-old dilemma for women of the darn if you do and darn if you don't. If I speak up and I'm assertive, masculine style, I'll get my hand slapped, and not only by men, but also other women. You'll get a reaction of, wow, who does she think she is? And she's coming off pretty strong today. So she gets punished when she behaves in a masculine way. And then if she incorporates a strong feminine style, she will also get punished. So does it ever seem that men are speaking in code and you're on the outside? Do they shut you down or ignore you when you speak? Perhaps you're speaking in code, maybe a different code. So men and women do have unique communication styles that don't always mesh well. And code switching, this concept of having that plasticity and flexibility to combine the masculine and feminine, offers a way of reaching across the aisle to open up those lines of communication. It helps both women and men crack that gender communication code and speak in common terms so the work gets done, conflicts get resolved, and there's a mutual understanding and respect will prevail in the workplace and beyond, even at home. So the term code switching, let's take a look at that. It refers to having a knowledge of both male and female cultures or languages and readily having the ability to swap between them as you communicate. The ability to use your knowledge of two or more cultures or languages and switch between them depending on the context, the situation you're in order to best communicate your message. I always give people this example. If I'm talking to a room full of female nurses, do you think my style would be different than if I were talking to a group of all male litigators? I hope so. So this concept of code switching evolved from androgyny, that ability to gender flex. So right here, I'm going to use a little more of my male style with the group of male litigators. Oops, now I am with my nurses. They like to hear personal stories. They like to hear socio-emotional examples. The men in my group want the data, the statistics, the logic of the arguments. And when I'm addressing co-ed audiences, I can blend both of them. So why are code switchers more successful communicators? We have data that says people who score high in androgyny, the ability to code switch, tend to have a higher self-esteem. Why is that? They walk around feeling better about themselves because they have a bigger behavioral repertoire. They can be and do many different things. Let me give you a contrast. Have you ever been around or worked with someone who only has one style? They only know how to be one way, and they're that way in every context they're in. And you sit back and go, oh, there he goes again. Oh, he shouldn't do that here. Oh, that's the wrong thing to do. So people who are good at code switching, who are androgynous, who have developed both their masculine and their feminine styles, have the ability to make their style work through a blending, a combination, a plasticity, a flexibility, and consequently, they're more successful. People like them. People want to be around them. People feel that they're being understood. I want to leave you with this. Here's an advantage for women. Who finds it easier, men or women, to be androgynous, a code switcher? It's generally women. There tends to be a little bit more of a negative reaction for a man embracing his feminine side or female communication styles. I always think about it when I was young and growing up. I was a tomboy. There's nothing wrong with being a tomboy. I liked rough stuff. I liked riding my horse. I liked getting dirty. For little boys, if they embrace any of their feminine side, they're called a sissy. So we know, fast forward to adulthood, that androgyny, being a code switcher, tends to be easier for women. So think about that the next time you communicate, is how can I do this blend of my masculine and feminine styles together to be a better communicator?